Hi, welcome to the Allure Dream Homes Buyer Negotiation Bootcamp. We're so excited for you to be here today. So let's jump right into it. So, our objective for today is for us to share with you the best process in order to purchase a home, how you could get the most for your money when purchasing in today's market. Okay? So, my name's Dion Branch, and I am with Allure Dream Homes. I'm the team leader of Allure Dream Homes. I've lived here in the Chicago area for my entire life, and I have a family of four. Uh, and my goal within real estate is to help people build wealth. So I love working with young people or people that are just getting into the investment. I want to help you purchase your first home as well as any investment property that you would like. So building wealth amongst ourselves is basically us no longer paying the landlord for rent, right? We want to own our own home. So I definitely enjoy doing that with my clients. So I am also a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. And so that's one of the passions that I have. And with working with the sorority, it also allows me to help with my community. So it works as far as my real estate as well as my personal life and helping people um, improve their lives. So I've worked with a lot of different clients, and my goal with clients is to make sure that they're happy. So here I have my client, Lacey, and she was renting and she wanted to purchase a new home for her and her daughter, basically building generational wealth. So they purchased a wonderful 2 unit building for themselves. So this way, she was able to afford having her own home as well as now she'll have some tenants that will help her with her mortgage as well. And for my team, one of the things that we do like is we our goal is to hold your hand through the whole home buying process. So we make sure that you ever understand every step of the way. All right. So let's talk about some misconcepts. Okay. So I should show my emotions when I am n- negotiating. So you shouldn't show your emotions when negotiating. So um, we are emotional creatures. When you like something, you're going to show that you really like it. So basically, when we're going out and we're looking at properties, what I say to my clients is, it's great to look through the house, see what you're interested in, but also we make sure that we discuss anything important outside or away from the home because a lot of times now people are recording even in their home. So we make sure that we always stay in the advantage point of not allowing the sellers to know what we are thinking about. Okay. People around me are great advice givers when it comes to real estate. Okay. So, what you should always trust in, the people you should trust in is your realtor. I know it's very difficult because a lot of people, the realtor is not trusted. They believe that the realtor is always trying to take advantage of clients, but the thing is, um, the realtor has the experience. They're the ones that have gone through this home buying process on a regular basis. And so it allows them to be able to use their experience and show you about what is necessary in purchasing a home. Everyone wants to trust their parents, past family members. But unfortunately, parents, if your family members, they may not have purchased recently. They may have purchased 20, 30 years ago. And so things change very often in real estate. So the best person to talk to is your realtor. They've been working with through this process on a regular basis so they know what's actually happening in the market. Okay. Home buying is scary. Yeah. So um, this is why we like to have home buying workshops because once you've gone through the workshop, it gives you an advantage of knowing more about the home buying process and what will take place. You're new. Everyone in here is new to the home buying process, so they're not aware of how to purchase a home. So you're not alone. But trust your realtor because your realtor can make sure and that they like we do as a team we make sure we hold your hand all the way through the process, so every step of the way we're explaining the process and what happens, so then now you're working with an experienced professional that's able to help you through this process. All right. And so I have to worry about getting screwed over. So again, this is where we talk about, trusting your realtor, and we understand that realtors are not one of the most trusted people. But when we write a contract, that contract is used by the state. So the state has given us a standard contract for writing your offers. So we're not really able to scratch out or add, pencil in additional items, things that will basically steer you in the wrong direction. You also have a period of time where you'll be working with an attorney and they'll review your contract as well. So there are multiple steps throughout the way to help you as making sure that no one is taking advantage of you. So, the price rising prices of houses. Houses are prices have gone up, and they will probably most likely continue to go up. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, when is the market gonna crash?" So, there's most likely not going to be a crash. A lot, we've heard people, oh, I'm going to wait till the interest rate goes down. This interest rate is actually a good interest rate. This is the norm. So, with houses, people buying houses, previously during COVID time, more people purchased homes. And there were bidding wars for those homes. So what happened is the prices of homes went up based off of multiple people price purchasing and bidding higher prices in order to win their bid. So now what happens is you years later are seeing that, oh, why the prices of houses gone up? Because in order to price a home, we look at what price homes have sold in the last 3 to 6 months. So now home prices are higher. New sellers are able to charge a higher price. So in 2018, well, I'm sorry, in 2008, there was what was called a recession. There, the house, appreciation, there were um, there were changes that had happened that allowed the market houses to go to be less, cost less. So that was a recession. Right now, what we're in is more less of a housing crisis, and that is because we have less homes actually to sell rather than the market changing. So, will we have a recession? Will we? No. Most likely, we will not again, have a recession. So again, with the housing market, you had in during strong housing demand is pandemic related. So we talked a little bit about that, where during the pandemic, a lot of people were looking for homes. The market was extremely low, something we probably will not see in a while. Not for maybe 20 more years. It took us 20 years to get there. It probably won't happen again until 20 years later. So where does buyer demand? You hear about, the buyer demand is because the supply is low, right? So if you have low supply, a lot of people have not been selling their homes recently because they don't know where they would go. So that means that the demand of houses are higher. Same thing during COVID time, there were a lot more buyers. And so then sellers, so then the demand was high. And so with the high demand comes with the increase in price of homes. So during the unemployment was a big thing during the recession as well. So job recovered faster during the prior recessions. So now we'll see that unemployment in 2007 greatly increased, and right now with employment being low, it still is because we're not in that recession time, right? Here you'll also see a lot about unemployment and the job recovery, and so a lot of more jobs are coming available. During the previous years, we had more jobs coming available compared to now. So and affordability. Um, so with with the demand is comes affordability, because in 2020, as we talked about before, the mortgage rate dropped, and so a lot of people were able to afford more. You're able to afford more of a house compared to what to this year's the current years, because now that the interest rates have gone higher, you're not able you afford less, right? And so this is a difference in the interest rate, how the rate makes this, the difference in your interest rate and how it affects the home buying process. Sorry. So let's say if you wanted to purchase a house, and your mortgage wanted to be $3,000 a month. So we're talking a lot about the interest rate. Interest rate has been a big concern lately, and so but in 1985, the interest rate was 12.22%. So if someone was purchasing a house during that time, and the most that they wanted their mortgage to be under 3,000 a month, the most that they could purchase for a house is $287,000. During 2019 COVID, the interest rates were very low. It was 3.59%. That rate we probably will not see for some time. And so during that time, if people were looking for a house for 3,000 or less, around 3,000, they would were able to purchase a home for 670,000. And so now there are a lot of homeowners that have a lower monthly payment, and the value of their home is a lot higher. And that was because the interest rate was so low. Here now, in 2024, so the interest rate 6.757% interest. If you're looking for a mortgage around 3,000 a month, the most you could probably afford is around $486,000. So interest rate does play a important um, part of the home buying process, and what you can actually the amount of the house that you can actually afford. So for every two houses that were on the market pre-COVID, there's actually one house. So um, when people talk about the market right now, as I mentioned before, there are a lot of homes that a lot of people that are interested in buying, but there's just less homes that are available. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't purchase now, because we don't know what the future is going to hold as well. Forbearances are expected to yield tons of foreclosures. So there is some foreclosures. The market is changing. They had give grace to some people who had not been able to pay their mortgage. So there is discussion that more foreclosures will be coming, but they have also provided some different programs for home buyers. So we might not see as many foreclosures as we saw during the recession. All right. When we talk about the recession, again, that was a once in a century thing. So I said we may not find ourselves in a 3.5% interest rate, maybe not for 20 years or so. So when you say, I'm going to wait, I'm not sure that that's the best approach in this market. So listen, negotiating. So when you're negotiating to purchase a property, we'll start with you start shopping, then we find the right property. So um, then you offer is accepted. Uh, you'll have what's called an attorney review period, where you work with the attorney to make sure that everything is proper in your offer and the contract that you have. And that's kind of during your due diligence period as well. So let's kind of talk into that. So, timing your purchase. The average buyer may look at 5 to 7 homes before they place an offer. But you shouldn't be fearful that when if we go out and you see your home, the first home, and want to know um, oh, I need to look at 5 more homes because I haven't looked at the average homes. That's not the case, because actually you can find the home that you really love at the first home. So never feel like you need to look at additional homes. You know that you are looking and searching for a home. So you can find that on the first home. Most properties are getting multiple offers, and so that is the reality. A lot of people are, oh, I don't want to offer because other people may offer. Every house has multiple offers, so it's okay. What we do is we work on your offer and make sure that you have the best offer, so that when you place your offer, we know that we're going to win. We're positioning you to be the winner of the your home that you're looking for. A lot of times, once we place the offer, that they can let us know back right away. They might let us know the same day, or they may say that they are reviewing offers, and our offer may take between 3 to 5 days, 3 days at most, in order to them to notify us whether they are going to accept your offer. So during this time, I make sure I stay in contact with the agent as much as possible to make sure that I get response from them as soon as possible. Closing takes about 30 days on average. So typically, we will place our offer stating that we're closing in 30 days. And during that 30-day period, you'll be working with your lender, making sure you're providing all the documentation that they need in order for you to make sure you get to the closing table right away. Okay. How many of you are renters with leases? All right. My lease ends on October 15th. So let's say if you have a lease, um, this, as we're going through the process and we're negotiating, we always make sure that we allow enough time for you to be able to purchase your home and then move into your home and then let's say at least 1 month later, you will have your first mortgage payment. So let's say, for instance, September 15th, you close on your property. That gives you time to get your property ready in time for repair. So you close on the 15th, you can go into your property. You have access to your property now, so you can do any enhancements you want to. And that gives you more than enough time because your lease is ended on October 15th. So you can have time in order to work on your home. But something happens. We don't close on September 15th. We close on October 1st. So it still gives you time. It gives you less time to move in, to make, do any repairs or things that you want. But now you still have additional time. Your first mortgage payment is still due on November 1st, and in both cases. So you still have time in order to pay. So when you with your mortgage, when you close, you pay interest for the remainder of the month at the closing time. So a lot of times they have allocated enough with your closing costs that covers that you don't have to pay it for a while. When at the closing table, most of the time your lender will let you know when your first payment is due. They'll normally give you a sheet inside of your document, inside of a folder normally, and in that folder, there's your first payment. That when it's due, so it is there for you. So while you're in your lease, a lot of times, people work on trying to make sure that you close prior to your lease ending so you can have enough time to do any cleaning before you move into your new home and not have to rush into the new home. But a lot of it depends on your lender and you working with your lender, making sure that you've provided them all the documents that they need in order to close. And so then that way we know that you have that time. Uh, Also, make sure you start your process of purchasing a home in enough time to allow you this this time, this grace period, because if you're looking to purchase in March, uh, and your lease ends in June. So now you've allowed yourself enough time to be able to move into your property, your new home, clean it, do some things, and not have to worry about where, if you have a place or if your lease ends and you're still in the process of purchasing and asking your landlord, can you stay? So, steps to getting pre-qualified. So a lot of people say don't go with your bank first, because banks are a little bit more strict as far as getting you pre-approval. They most of the time don't qualify you. So a lot of times there's more mortgage brokers, there's mortgage lenders that are working with home buyers, and they have different grants available. Grant Your bank may have a grant as well, but there are different companies so that you can use in order to purchase your mortgage. So I would say always make sure you kind of shop around to see, get information before you go out and just go with the first person. So you should always figure out your cash to close and the monthly payments before you start shopping. So typically, I normally say about 6% of the price is what you need to for closing. And so you have to make sure that you do save some money so that you can go through this home buying process. In the beginning, there's three things that you need at the beginning of the transaction, and it's your earnest money, it's your home inspection, and your appraisal. So those are part of your cash that you'll need at the beginning of the transaction. um, Good credit isn't good enough. So you really want to make sure that your credit is, that you are working on your credit and conscious of your bills that you have, because your credit can affect your purchasing, but that's not the only thing. So it's better to make sure that you have your credit, uh, and you're monitoring it during this time before you get ready to purchase a home. So and so then the fourth thing is the type of loan and down payment can affect the type of property. So there's a lot of different loan options for you. A lot of people use a FHA loan. And so FHA loan means that the property has to be safe, not to have any safety hazards like chip paint, cracks, and smoke detectors, things like that. So a lot of times you might be interested in a property that needs some work. You might need to use a different type of loan. So the different loans do determine what type of home you can purchase. So when you go to the doctor's office with a headache and do they throw you like into the surgery? You come in, you say, "Oh, doc, I have a headache. Can you help me?" And so they said, okay, well, I'm going to give you a surgery. You're like, wait a minute. So that's the same thing about buying a house. We don't want you to say, okay, I want to buy a house. And now you call someone up and they take you right out to purchase that home. And you haven't even done any prep work and preparing and making sure that you know what you want to buy. So we normally start out our process with a buyer consultation. During this time, we sit down, we discuss all the things that you need. Um, what are you purchasing? How many bedrooms are you interested? How many bathrooms? Is there things that you like? Are there things that your husband likes? So this consultation is good for us. So when we get ready to go out, when I create the search engines search for you, my team and I create a search for you, you're able to get property that you are actually interested in. So we start all processes off with a buyer's consultation. During this consultation, we do also ask you to sign our VIP agreement. Um, that agreement states that you are working exclusively with me and my team. We ask that because we're working with you. And so we want you to make sure, we want to make sure that you're working with us too. So we are both invested in your goal of purchasing a home. So we do have a great team that we work with. And so uh, during our process, we make sure that you're working with the people that we are familiar with. We have loan officers that we refer you to. We have attorneys that we work with and home inspectors. So we do have referrals for you for people that we have experience with, and that way you know that you are working with a great team. We are here for you. We're going to make sure that you understand the process. As I said, we hold your hand throughout the whole process. And so for that, it is our team that works together to make your experience the best that it can be. So there are finding the great deal. So normally what we set you up on is a MLS search. That search is customized just for you. And so it is based off of the things that you have shared with us during the buyer's consultation. So that way you're getting the properties that you may be interested in. Sometimes you don't share everything with us. And so our search is limited to what you have told us you're looking for. So you could look on some of the portal sites, and we understand that everybody does, but what they do is they're selling your information. So I ask that while working with us, if you're looking at those sites, you don't click or like too much on those sites. You search on our MLS, and then we also have other tools that we share with you that's connected. So if you want to go outside of the alerts that I'm sending you, you can still be connected with us. Okay. So there are a couple of different ways of viewing properties as well. So there's an open house. 2% of buyers buy an open house buy at the open house, right? So let's say you can go to the open house, but I would say let us know that you're going to the open house and let the agent know there that you do have an agent that's working with you. Most of the time, the open house is just for the agent, for them to get your information so that they can start to market to you. Uh, for sale by owner, there are a lot of properties, people that believe that they can sell their property on their own. Most of them are not priced properly. So I would say when we say proceed with caution, if you're working thinking of purchasing a home by for sale by owner, um, you still could work with the realtor on your side so we can make sure we negotiate the best price for you, because the owners not have done all the work that we do as realtors to see what the market rate is. So new construction is a little different. They normally use their own contracts. They are building a lot of houses very quickly and fast. So, if you're interested in the new construction, we do work with the home inspector through that process as well to make sure that they're building your home with good quality. Okay, so we will start out if you're working, looking at new construction. The inspector has about 5 inspections they may do in a new construction purchase. All right. Once you're in the property, these are some questions that you may ask is, does the floor plan, does it flow? Is there room to grow? So we're looking at properties, and these are some questions that you might want to ask yourself. Is there space to store your belongings? Is it priced by a professional? And how does the neighborhood look? So when looking at properties, you definitely want to see if you feel comfortable in that home and making sure that even the neighborhood. So a lot of times I may suggest that you drive the neighborhoods at different times to see if this house is something that you're interested in. And so you, even before going to see a house, you could drive past the house to get some information, see if how the area is. So the outside of the home is just as important as the inside. When we're in a multiple offer situation, so you may find yourself at a home that somebody else wants just as yourself. So um, we when looking for the houses, we need to make sure we write multiple offers more quickly. So when we see a property that you're interested in, I would say if it's something you're really interested in, we should make sure that we write an offer, because if you like the house, somebody else likes the house. Um, and so here they say make the inspection for information purposes only. Um, this is a way of negotiating a strong offer. So if we see that this property looks like it's in good condition, we may not have to, there's options that we could check to say that we will do an inspection, but we won't ask for any changes. This is when we're in the when during the market where there's a lot of buyers and multiple offers. These are some of the things that we could do in order to make sure that you win your bid. We don't have to do them all. It depends on the house, and we discuss those things prior to us writing the offer. If the property is owned by a resident, write a letter of how much you love the house. So this is called a love letter to the owner, and letting them know, I really want my children in this school district. I love your home. I love everything about this community. And then you share with them about your children, who you are. So some owners do allow you to write a letter to them. This is something that I would ask prior to, if we found ourselves in that situation. I would ask the agent, uh, will the seller accept letters? And so if they do, then we could write a letter as well. You can offer to pay title insurance. So again, we're in a multiple offer scenario. And a lot of times people ask for credit towards closing. You could say you'll give the seller credit towards closing. So you offer to pay for title insurance, things like that. Um, I normally, as I told you, work with the agent on the other end, make sure I establish rapport with the other agent. So that way, sometimes we win because I know the other agent, right? So, um, uh, handwrite a letter to the seller about, so we talked about the love letter. um and then the last thing is, if you have extra cash, if you have extra money and the property does not appraise for the value of the home, then you could offer to pay the difference. So you would say, basically I'll pay above the appraised value and to my offer value. So these are a few tactics that people do in order to win in a multiple offer situation. So when you're going through the house, you do want to make sure you that you do the most to make sure that everything is okay with the house. So at first you may just love the house, but you still have to make sure that you take a moment and we'll say do your due diligence. Make sure that you understand, you're looking to check to see if the windows are okay. Does the water flow? Um, Efficiently? Does Are there any issues that are going on with the roof, the plumbing, things like that, right? So you can hire a home inspector after your offer is accepted. You can hire a home inspector who does offer home warranties, or you could purchase a home warranty yourself for a home inspection that says, okay, the home warranty helps cover if anything happens after you purchase the property that we did not see while we were going through. So the inspectors, the home inspection, uh, first you have the home inspection needs to take place within 5 days of the home buying process. During that time, you're going to go through what's called an attorney review period. And this is where you have the right to request any changes. They're not cosmetic, but there may be crack in the foundation, a problem with the roof, major issues that you want to ask the seller to repair before you purchase the home. So during this time, at the inspector will do the inspection and then they'll provide you with a report, and that report will list those items. We typically discuss those items together and then we give them to the attorney to send over to the seller's attorney. So this is called attorney review period, and where you can ask. Now, if you were in a earlier on, we talked about negotiating, and some people may have waived the request. So you still would have done the inspection, but you may not send the letter to the attorney stating that you want these repairs from the seller. So all those things, but it's always good to have the inspection no matter what, so you can understand. And during this time, you are able to back out of the deal if you see something wrong with the property where you need to decided that you no longer want to continue on. So appraisal. So we talked about the home inspection. So the home inspection was for you. That's for you to have information about the house. The appraisal is for the lender. During this time, the lender wants to determine what is the value of the property. Okay, so they determine what the value of the property is. They come out, they look at the property, they do comparables of property around the area, and they determine um, what the value is. Your contract price is we've negotiated that we are going to pay for this house $500,000. So the appraiser could come review and say, this price is worth $520,000. So this is good for you. This just gives you instant equity in your property. And so now you know that you have some equity. If you ever need to take a loan on your property, you have some value there in your home. Um, it could appraise for the same price. So there's nothing that you need to worry about. You move on. You move on if it appraised higher as well. This is just something, information for you, know that you have value. And this one says, okay, I've purchased it at the price of the value. Hopefully, in the future years, I'll have more equity in my home. And then where it gets a little tricky is when the property price is lower than the value. So if it appraises lower than the value, then a couple of things need to happen. One, either you decide that you're going to pay this additional $10,000 difference. Two, the seller decides that they're going to accept that lower price difference. Or three, you guys can back out of the deal, but the seller is still stuck with this appraised value based off of the financing. So if it's a FHA, he could not get the house at 5,000 or more from anyone within the next 6 months. So a lot of times the seller does go ahead and accept the value of the home, but if there were any credits for closing, maybe he gave you $10,000 credit towards closing, he might come back and say that they do not want to give you that credit anymore. So those are the things that we have to go back to renegotiate during after the appraisal has come through. So what we just talked about this, what if the appraisal comes out low? You renegotiate, you cancel, or you pay down. So we talked about renegotiating. The seller agrees to come down. Uh, Two, they cancel. You have the right to cancel the contract without any risk. So, no, I'm not going to pay that additional price. I'm only want to pay what the value of the property is. And if you guys can't agree, you can agree to walk away. And then the last one is, I really love this property. I don't care that it didn't praise for the $10,000 difference. So I'm going to pay that difference. And so these are the things that happen when the appraisal is low. So the appraiser also does an inspection as well. So they don't just tell you the dollar value, they also look to see if there's anything wrong with the property. So FHA appraisal, they do check to see if it's any safety hazards. And so during that time, they will say to the seller that, okay, your property appraised at value, but you need to fix these things in order to continue on. And so you might find yourself having to pay for two appraisals, a second appraisal, because the appraiser has to come back and recheck the property. So we've done a lot. Now, we're ready to get what is called a clear to close. So the clear to close says that I have provided all my documents to the lender. We've gone through underwriting, and the lender says that it is okay to close, that I am good to go. So these like once the lender and the company both agree, um, you are clear to close, they start to move very quickly. Typically, you'll when you get a clear to close, you normally close within at least 3 business days after that clear to close has been granted. Um, Once we've got the clear to close, we will do what's called a final walkthrough. So we've had a home inspection. We've had there's some things that we requested that needed to be done, and so this is our time to go back and confirm that those items have been completed. And if they have not, then we will go back to the attorney before closing and to see how we can get those things done. At the closing, you'll wire the remaining cash to the close to the title company. So a lot of times, you will bring to the closing, you'll bring a cashier's check, or you might be able to wire your money um, to the title company so that your money is there for a closing, and you'll also go to the closing table and sign a lot of documents. So this is how you be ready. Your arm might get a little stiff, but you're signing for something that is really great. And so this is the time. There's a lot of documents to sign, and you need to make sure that you bring your ID with you so that you can have at least two IDs, whereas they can confirm that you are the person that's signing the documents. You are the buyer. So where do the buyers get stuck at? Um, they say I should wait 1 more year because I don't feel ready. You shouldn't wait. So a lot of people are waiting because of the interest rate. They're waiting for different things. I would say schedule your consultation with us to determine if you're waiting for the right reason, because there may not be a reason or a need for you to wait. And so it's really best that you still schedule that consultation with us so that where you'll know that, okay, um, I do have to wait, and we'll establish a plan for you to move forward. I'm going to wait till the market crashes. Well, the market may not crash. So this is not the time to wait. So the market indicators are showing that we are not heading toward a crash. Okay. So just as I said, market's probably not going to crash. Rates may go down a little lower, but they'll never go back down to 3.5 where we were during the during COVID time. I'm going with the first realtor that I think of. I said choose the right agent. Select the agent that is there for you, that understands what you need. And so that way you're making sure that you're right working with the right people. You shouldn't just choose anyone. This is an important purchase. Make sure that you have someone that has a great teams, have people working with them like Allure Dream Homes, so then that way you're using the right people for you. You're like, I don't know if I have enough money saved. So remove all the might, could, and possibly by connecting with the lender. So now you know what you need. So, a lot of times, some of the lenders have different programs, grants that are out there that can help you with your closing. So, you may qualify for a grant that allows you to bring less to the table. And so, this is why we still suggest doing that buyer's consultation, because if your credit is you have a good credit score and you're working a good working history, you may qualify for some of the grant programs that's out here to allow you to purchase your home for less, bringing needing less money at the table. Again, talk to the lender. I don't know if my credit is good enough. Talk to the lender. Let the lender discuss with you what your credit score is needed. Typically, we do need at least a 600 or above in order for you to purchase a home, and then 640 and above will get you the grants. But let's talk about what your score is and make a plan, because we do on our team have credit repair analysts that can help you analyze your credit and tell you what things you exactly need to do in order to increase your credit score. I don't know where to start. So take the first steps towards your dream. So I would say make sure to contact us, schedule an appointment with us so that you can make sure we help you start this process. We help you get where you need to be in order to become the homeowner that you want to be. So I would say make sure you contact us and so that we can help you. So the objective today was to help you feel confident about the home buying process. Was I able to do that? Did I achieve my goal today? I really hope so. And so I just want to raise your hand, say yes, yes, I've achieved that goal. So I'm hoping that right now you feel excited about the home buying process and are willing to reach out to me so that we can handle the rest for you. My job is to give you enough information to make you feel confident about the decisions that you are about to make. So getting to the clear to close will be easy for you because we've already established the steps that you need to make in order to be a successful home buyer. So we have a home buying blueprint that we would like to share with you. So if you schedule an appointment with us, we will send you the home buyer's blueprint so that you can be aware of every step during the home buying process. Um, Home warranties. Early on, we talked about the inspect home inspection, but we also recommend that you receive a 1 year home warranty when purchasing a home. A lot of times, I do negotiate this during our negotiation process. But if not, we do have home warranties on our team, specialists on our team that can make sure that you are covered for at least the first year of your home purchase in case something happens, because you never know what can happen. It's not that the home seller knew these things were going to happen either. It's just sometimes some things happen and it's better to be covered. We also have a money playbook for you. It's a 30-page guide to help you walk you through everything you need for your financing, and we'll share that with you as well. So we also prepare a vendors list. We work with a list of vendors on a regular basis. And so we want to make sure that you have people that we have partnered with to make sure that you have the best home buying process. Even after you've purchased your home, you may need some repairs, things like that. We have specialists that we can share with you. And just with that, we have our VIP agreement between us, outlining all the things I promised to you in exchange and asking you for your loyalty to work with us. So when we start our buyer's consultation, We will have you sign the VIP agreement, and that way we know that you are working with us and we can make sure that we're able to help you all the way through. So, what's next? Book your consultation with us. Complete the buyer's intake form, um, attend the consultation, and then we will, during that time, we're going to review your intake form, set you up for your property searches, and we'll introduce you to the lenders and get you off and running. So, we are ready here. We are here ready to help you. So again, my name is Dion Branch. I am with Allure Dream Home, and I am so excited to work with you. So don't forget to book your consultation today. Thank you.